All right, so stop the presses. The brand new lie has just dropped in the Dragon Ball community after the less than disappointing announcement of the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2026, and that lie is going to astonish you in today's video. Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock, Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2026 got announced, and on the advertisement we got Super Saiyan 4 Diamond Goku, and the only major, and I use that term loosely, major Dragon Ball game not to have Super Saiyan 4 Diamond Goku is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which nobody cares about anymore. But that's not the lie that came out of all this. Actually, it has to do with another Dragon Ball game, Dragon Ball FighterZ. So Dragon Ball FighterZ has been probably one of the most dead Dragon Ball games to date. Like, nobody plays that game, at least from the Dragon Ball community, right? The FGC goons got on it. I don't know why I said FGC goons, because I'm part of the FGC, but the FGC goon darlings like Rufamonger, I think Maximilian Dude, they all hopped on it. They stripped it bare for content, and the Dragon Ball games community, they pretty much threw away that game. Nobody from the actual Dragon Ball games community picks up Dragon Ball FighterZ anymore. Well, it would surprise you that people took this opportunity to create a lie and run with it. So here's the lie, right? Dragon Ball FighterZ is getting another season of DLC just out of nowhere, just because they decided to add it in this advertisement for Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2026. And that is the entire premise for the lie. So the Dragon Ball Games Twitter account went ahead and dropped this lie, and as you can imagine, it spread like wildfire. Of course, you know your usual suspects, your P Doje dumbass goon came out and made a video talking about, oh, Dragon Ball FighterZ is gonna have season 4. Slop Plays or Slop Blaze, whatever his name is, he made the same video talking about the characters coming out, and we all know that Dragon Ball FighterZ is not going to have DLC. Now, I can explain to you the reason as to why, because I actually made a video on this earlier this year, or last year rather. So everyone in the know, and this is the main reason as to why you're not getting any more Dragon Ball FighterZ DLC and why the promotion for that game has been just cut off. There's been radio silence for this game, is because Arc System Works is not anywhere near on good terms with Bandai Namco. That is literally the reason. And I can explain to you about this with proof by providing the fact that the last patch that got dropped for Dragon Ball FighterZ had to be done by a third party. So they couldn't even get Arc System Works to come back. From what I've been told, and the information given to me was that people were not being paid. They got irritated by the practices of Bandai Namco, and Arc System Works just said F it. F it, they wanted nothing. That's why they went on to make what, Marvel Tokon. They went on to get on to different games because they're done with Dragon Ball FighterZ. And then that left Namco Bandai in a position where they had to hire a third party team that had nothing to do with Dragon Ball FighterZ to do the patch. And that's why for a certain amount of time, it was just like really jacked up. After they did that patch, like frames were coming up, people were doing T-poses. I remember that. That was just like a hilariously embarrassing week for Dragon Ball FighterZ. So imagine my surprise and everyone's surprise that when we get up today, we look on the Twitter timeline and we see people making up lies about a season 4 for Dragon Ball FighterZ. like Arc System Works is really going to come back after everything they had been put through and make a season 4 for this godforsaken company. Ain't no way in hell that's happening, because you can't hire a third party to do DLC. Okay, so you might be able to get away with a patch because any developer can come in and try to do a patch and fix the groundwork that was laid behind, but nobody can just come into the game's current infrastructure and try to make a DLC character. You have to actually go through the company that originally developed the game. So that's the number one reason this isn't happening. I get it. Dragon Ball news is really dry, so it was really predictable that someone was gonna jump on this opportunity to make something up and just lie. Just come out their mouth, oh yeah, Dragon Ball FighterZ get another season DLC. Really? And their whole premise for it is, well, that's why it's featured up there, because it's gonna get DLC announcement. Dragon Ball FighterZ has been featured in every Dragon Ball event. Like when they have multiple games where they have card out Dragon Ball Legends, Xenoverse, Kakarot, they do that for all the games that they consider their flagship games, which is primarily the reason that Dragon Ball Breakers is nowhere near up there, because it somehow is doing worse than Dragon Ball FighterZ, but that's neither here nor there. But they will cart out all their current products and just put it out there. So Dragon Ball FighterZ fits in their little traditional fighting game giving to this event, and they want to have it present. Even though it's pretty much dead and nobody plays it, they still want to feature it just for the sake of, right? Doesn't mean they're getting DLC, doesn't mean they're doing anything, but they just had to bring it out just for the dog and pony show. That's all it is. So you see what people will do when they're desperate for content is just sit there and lie to you. And as Perfection and Natural Selection Lord Paragon, I have to provide the facts and the truth. And that's what we're doing in today's video. So what is going on with Dragon Ball FighterZ? Absolutely nothing. Nothing is happening with Dragon Ball FighterZ. There's no Raditz, no Omega Shenron. They're not just gonna come out the blue and make no. Okay, no, that's why they slowed down things with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. They saw all the players left. There's nobody interested in the game. They're not gonna waste thousands of dollars or maybe even millions because they want to really pump it up to make you believe they're really putting skin in the game. They're not gonna waste all that money making a DLC character for an audience of none. That's just the way that it is. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I know my audience is smarter than this. I know they're not gonna just believe anyone coming out and saying that there's gonna be Dragon Ball FighterZ DLC, anyone just making that up. If I were you, I would just completely ignore their channel. If they're making up that lie that Dragon Ball FighterZ is having content, any DLC content, I would never look at their channel again. That's how desperate they are. So again, guys, hit that subscribe button, enable all notifications. I've been your friendly neighborhood Perfection, the Natural Selection Lord Paragon, the most beloved Dragon Ball OC on the entire surface of the internet. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.